Welcome to this Marvelicious Toys one-shot. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
One other thing did come out, which is a little bit interesting. There is a new line of Marvel Legends Legacy, and they went up for pre-order the first wave. They're bringing back out a bunch of the Black Panther characters, which makes sense, because Wakanda Forever coming out in November. I'm sure we're going to have trailers by the time Love and Thunder hits midsummer. And so in August, Black Panther, Shuri, Nakia, and Killmonger are going to be back on pegs in this Legacy collection, but it's not a straight re-release. It's kind of a re-release, but there's no Build-A-Figure, and they're mixed up.
Yeah, these have all been released before, and I think they all have paint upgrades to them now. And it kind of reminds me of, I never bought them, but I know, Arnie, you chased them down a few times. Kind of reminds me of those overseas waves that they released, kind of those all-stars where they picked figures from different waves and put them all in another wave without a Build-A-Figure and put them out there.
Yep, that's true. I hadn't put that together. That is a lot what this feels like, bringing it stateside.
Yeah. And also kind of, taking a cue from the Star Wars side where they have their archive line where it's a re-release of a figure that was out before and maybe some subtle paint upgrades. But yeah, I mean, this is cool, and I'll probably fall for it and pick up figures that I already own with slightly better paint apps.
Is this any different than when they re-release a figure in a box set and do a paint change? We got the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, and then we got the Kingpin in the deluxe set with a different outfit. Is this line skippable, is I suppose my question. Or is this line a worthwhile figure upgrade?
I think that's a good question. And I think if we weren't completionists and we just kind of bought what we needed, I feel like this line would be great to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I want a new Nakia with more accurate boots and maybe a little bit better of a face paint on it? Sure. I don't necessarily need it, but if I saw it at the store, I might pick it up. I don't know. I feel like I have enough Black Panthers and stuff, and I'll have to wait and see how they look with new paint apps on it. But the Killmonger has a different paint to it that I've seen in some of the close-ups, where that, if you had it standing next to the original one, they're going to look different. So that might kind of drive a little OCD craziness to pick it up.
And plus that's the Killmonger from the 2-pack, but with the unmasked head. They're kind of kit bashing with paint upgrades. We're not talking new sculpting, but we're talking, if these came out as a Black Panther 5th anniversary wave, if they came out in 2023 and came in 2-packs, I think we'd all be like, oh, I gotta have those. But because they're coming out individually as Legacy, and they were just kind of released and not announced, it does feel like re-releases where the upgrades are being sort of downplayed.
Yeah, and I think they kind of say it, and it's aimed at collectors who weren't collecting when this line came out. So, hey, here's a chance to get caught up because they know that Black Panther hype is going to be big about this time this year. So, maybe they're getting a poker in the fire before the secondary market goes crazy with that hype, but that's always what happens. You wait till trailers start coming out and people start selling off their old figures.
Yeah, I'd rather get upgraded figures than see resellers make tons of money, but I've asked the guys quite a bit about figure re-releases from time to time, about some of these expensive figures. I know when we get the archive line or some of the carry forward figures in the vintage collection of Star Wars, they're often the hardest to find, i.e. most expensive on eBay figures. Some of the ones people are obviously wanting most if they're paying that much. I do think there's a lot of opportunities here to revisit some of the figures from years past as new movies come out. I don't know if I need yet another release of Groot when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out. We had him as the Toys R Us exclusive and the Build-A-Figure. And
yeah, but no, there are opportunities there because, they could release Mantis, who was previously a Build-A-Figure, which means a lot of people didn't finish her, and I know Yondu is a very sought-after figure. So there's characters there that they could say, hey, let's, get them back out there for those that missed them. And I think this is a good trend, I think all it really does is stick a thorn in the side of resellers, which fine, you know? I mean, that's neither here nor there. If you've been collecting, you don't need to pay attention to them. And if you're new, you don't have to overpay inflated prices.
But as you mentioned, exclusives. M'Baku, who I need to rewatch Black Panther before Wakanda Forever, but I just love M'Baku in that movie. And he is a Target exclusive. And he was a Build-A-Figure before.
Yeah, yep. Which, you know, when Build-A-Figures are regular size figures, you got to see that happening at some point, right? I mean, we've seen it with other Build-A-Figures. Like, you could buy Ant-Man for $25 last year, you know, in his own release after him being a Build-A-Figure. This isn't unprecedented, but making it an exclusive is where I kind of question it. It's like, if this is going to be a wave, just make it a wave.
And then there's going to be another Black Panther figure exclusive to Walmart. Not just Black Panther the movie, but Black Panther the character.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, it would be nice if this was, just like I said, a case with all 6 of these available to order and not have to worry about it. But as it is now, it looks like the case that's coming out that you can order is 4 characters that are going to be available anywhere, doubled up on the Killmonger and Black Panther. And then you got to go chase down the Target and Walmart exclusives.
You know, it's like somebody was sitting around saying, we don't release enough Legends a year. 100? Oh, we can up that number. Let's bring some back out and paint upgrade them.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, but it can drive a completionist crazy. So maybe this will break some folks of feeling like they have to buy everything that gets put out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Marvelicious Toys. Marvelicious Toys is a Venganza Media production, copyright 2022. All rights reserved.